A baseball coach in Texas has made the decision to refuse recruits from a specific state. Mike Jeffcoat is his name, and he believes that anyone coming from Colorado is super suspect, so it's probably better to not bring them on his team to begin with. Now, he sent an email to a team prospect, someone who wanted to join his college baseball team, and he responded with the following. The email was sent by this baseball coach, Mike Jeffcoat, from his university account and has since been posted on Twitter. The message to the aspiring college athlete at Cherokee Trail High School states that Texas Wesleyan, a private school in Fort Worth, no longer recruits players from the state of Colorado because of drug problems. Okay, let's stop for a second. Understand that this recruit has never met the guy, has never undergone any type of drug test, nothing like that. The letter back to him, or the email back to him, said the following: unfortunately, we are not recruiting players from the state of Colorado. In the past, players have had trouble passing our drug test. We have made a decision to not take a chance on student athletes from your state. You can thank your liberal politicians. Best of luck wherever you decide to play.
Hilariously preposterous. The kid's coach in high school had to clarify, he's never had any problem, no disciplinary problem, never a single issue. Like the poor kid now, like it creates like this presumption of guilt on him just because he's from the state of Colorado.
It's insane.
And you have no idea if the kid's a liberal or a conservative. He's probably, since he's under 18, never voted. You don't know what his parents think. I mean, what if he's like an evangelical Christian from Colorado? Is Colorado Springs?
Right.
It's one of the most evangelical places in the whole country.
Maybe he's straight edge.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And he's probably a great athlete because Colorado, you do all these things outside. Right. It's a beautiful state. Yeah, I mean, it's just textbook discrimination. That's really what it is. And the funny thing is, this coach is actually being investigated for something else, some sort of violation of this National Collegiate Athletic Association, violation of their rules. Now, they didn't specify what that violation is, but clearly, I mean, not someone that you really want to have on your staff.
I mean, he doesn't sound like the type of person who would sit down and really think about his actions before he takes action. I mean, what kind of judgment is this?
I know.
It's crazy, and it seems like he's just this bitter conservative guy who's just trying to insult anyone who has anything to do with liberals. Again, we don't know anything about this kid's political leanings. We don't know anything about his drug use. Besides which, I'm curious to give Jeffcoat a drug test and see, whether or not he's ever, taken advantage of a nice spliff after work.
Let's give him a hair test, just so that we get the whole history.
It's regional profiling, right? It's not racial profiling. It's like state-based profiling.
Yeah, and that's the thing. This story apparently went viral, although I didn't really see it anywhere myself. I saw it on cron.com, but that's it. I mean, I haven't seen this widely reported. I feel like if a liberal did the exact same thing, let's say a liberal did this, a liberal in California, a coach in California, did this against an athlete from West Virginia.
No, they'd be fired
immediately. It's done. Not only would they be fired immediately,
yes.
It would be Fox News. It would be 24-hour coverage on Fox News.
Protests. Right?
Yeah, and I don't want people to misunderstand what I was saying earlier. I'm like, you have no idea if this kid happens to be liberal or conservative, and you're just, he might be the most conservative kid in the world, and you're not letting him in because of the liberal politicians of Colorado. But so what if he was liberal? Who cares? Can he hit the ball or can't he hit the ball? And why are you bringing politics into this when it makes no sense at all? And by the way, I would want the coach fired if he was in California and he's like, all right, since you're from the state of Alabama, I'm not accepting you. Well, there's two more layers to that. One, it's discrimination and it's wrong. But two, you're not very bright if that is how you're picking your baseball players, based on which state they're from and whatever politicians are in that state. Okay, so I'm progressive, so should I not take any baseball players from Texas? That would be pretty foolish, right?
Instead of giving them like a drug test, you should give them a voting test, right? You should ask them like who they voted for the last election, if they're a voting age.
Yeah, and by the way, ironically, it doesn't make sense because Mike Jeffcoat's very conservative, but was a very good baseball player back in the day. He was in the majors, and so if I had done the same test as him, like you're a conservative, I'm not taking you. then I wouldn't have taken a really good baseball player.
Right. It also shows just a terrible, like you said, lack of judgment to say this stuff out loud, to put it down in writing. You get that he would think that maybe, but it shows a real lack of judgment and also abuse of power. So I wouldn't want him being in this position anyway.
Yeah, and one last thing to Anna's point, there is a double standard here, where if progressives say, who would want anything or anyone from Alabama or Mississippi? They go, oh, well, how could you? Kansas, right? That's the heartland, that's real America, right? Whereas conservatives are like, oh, Massachusetts, and O'Reilly once said the terrorists should blow up the Coy Tower in San Francisco.
Right.
And so now apparently Colorado's not real America, right? So they get to attack progressive states all the time, and it's not right either way. What you just watched was one of the videos that we do today, but we actually do a whole 2-hour show every single day. It's a podcast. You could watch it in video or listen to it as audio. You can download it, you can stream it, and you get it completely ad-free if you could become a member of the Young Turks. TYTnetwork.com/join.